and what is and what is and what is. Some conceptualizations of learning lead to practices which are oppressive, and other conceptualizations of learning lead to practices which facilitate transformational learning, empowerment, and development of tools by which learners can engage in social change. Conceptualizations of learning lead to practices which are oppressive, and other conceptualizations of learning lead to practices which facilitate transformational learning, empowerment, and development of tools by which learners can engage in social change. But we'll come back to that. First, we need to investigate how conceptualization. The base of concepts are categories by which learners can engage. Human beings are awesome at categorizing things, but we'll come back to that. First, we encounter something new. We think, this thing reminds me of that other thing. How conceptualization, this thing is kind of like that thing. Are categories, the function of analogy. Human beings are awesome at categorizing things. As the philosopher Douglas Hofstadter puts it, we think, this thing, without concepts, there can be no thought. Without analogies, there can be no concept. Are categories. And the first ingredient in the formation of conceptualizations. As the analogies, Hofstadter puts it, we think, this thing, without concepts, there can be no thought. Without analogies, there can be no concept. Are categories. The next ingredient is metaphor. Conceptualizations. Well, this is like that. Metaphors are more complex. They're more like stories. For instance, somebody, we don't know who, a long time ago had the thought, my time is valuable, which led to the metaphor like that, money. Metaphors are more complex. This metaphor, according to linguists George Lakoff and Mark Johnson, was so catchy, we don't know who, all over the world, my time in many economies, which led to the metaphor like that, money. So powerful was the time is money metaphor that today most people forget that this is a metaphor and believe that time is actually money. No, it's not. Time is time. Money is money. But this is the power of metaphor. Now we have our next step in the formula. Analogies lead to categories which inform concepts, and analogies also lead to metaphors. And these metaphors become the basis for many, if not most, concepts. But our formulation is not yet complete. Constellations of metaphors and analogies combine with our life experiences, habits, and the common practices in our communities of professional practice. These are what Thomas Kuhn called paradigms, and what Michael Kearney called worldviews. Worldviews and paradigms are related, but distinct concepts. They are related in that both deal with epistemology, the nature of knowledge, and ontology, the nature of reality. Worldviews are sets of beliefs and assumptions held by societies and members of the physical and social world. On one side is the list position. Characterize the belief there is one reality, and knowledge objectives discovered through empirical observation. The constructivist position is by the belief that there are multiple constructed realities, and knowledge is the meanings constructed through interpretation and making sense of experience. Our worldviews and paradigms filter and transform our analogies. And now we have a working formulation. Conceptualizations are formed through the use of analogies and metaphors, as informed by worldviews and paradigms, can then inform our perspectives, our values, our words, and our actions. Notice this, but I drew a picture of an iceberg behind here. That is to say, conceptualization analogy below the surface, below the conscious level. We can't access them by just thinking about them. We have to dig into them by analyzing practices, communications, cognitive filtering, and values. We have a framework for understanding conceptualizations. Conceptualizations of learning. First, Bruner and building is grounded in birth and banking metaphors. This conceptual of the ancient tabula rasa, or empty slate view of the mind, and the transfer of information from external sources, such as textbooks, into the mind. Berry, Kinchlow, and Giroux argue practice in teaching and learning which are oppressive. Practices are incompatible with deep, powerful, emancipatory, agentic, and transformative learning. Second, in contrast to this common sense, transfer, acquisition, conceptualization of learning, many educational researchers and theorists have conceptualizations of learning grounded in the construction metaphor. This conceptualization, based on the works of Piaget, Vygotsky, and Bruner, sees learning as the individual, collaborative, and collective construction of meaning. These dramatically different conceptualizations of learning lead to completely different practices in teaching and learning. The transfer acquisition conceptualization leads to learning designed around learning objectives, lectures, textbooks, and exams. The construction conceptualization of learning leads to learning characterized by project-based learning, collaborative learning, situated learning, and activities through which learners have meaningful impact in their communities. The core of these conceptualizations of learning is a fundamental difference in beliefs. Regard should have agency. Who should have the power in decisions about learning? Acquisition of learning is the assumption that teachers, schools, districts, curriculum designers, and instructional designers have the authority to make decisions regarding what students will learn, how they will learn it, and how they will be assessed. Learner agency is usually limited to selection of topics for papers, but generally, learners have no agency. The goal of education, in this conceptualization of learning, the goal is production of people who know what we decide they should know. We decide they should do. The construction conceptualization assumes that learners have agency. Not only do learners have the authority to make decisions regarding what they will learn, how they will go about learning, learners are placed in a position of human dignity and respect for their intelligence and abilities. It says to them, you are the author of your world. You are the author of your own mind. The goal of education in this construction conceptualization of learning, the goal of education is to shape themselves, form society. But what does this have to do with technology or instructional design? Let's start by exploring how technology is used in each of the conceptualizations of learning. Then we'll examine instructional design models. In the transfer acquisition conceptualization of learning, the primary role of technology is to optimize the effectiveness and efficiency of the transfer process. In many cases, this means replication of face-to-face modalities in digital format. Textbooks become ebooks. Lectures become narrated online. Worksheets become tests become adaptive technologies. There's a recent movement toward using big data, learning analytics, and responsive technologies to assess learners' progression towards mastery of prescribed learning objectives and to adapt delivery of materials in response to assessment of their strengths and weaknesses. This is the transfer acquisition conceptualization of learning and how technology is usually used in this conceptualization of learning. On the other hand, in the construction conceptualization of learning, the role of technology is primarily productive. Learners use technologies to create things for real-world impact. They design websites and blogs. They produce and edit movies. They engage local and international audiences through podcasts. They design, conduct, and publish research studies. And they plan and facilitate social activism through social media. This is the primary use of technology in the construction conceptualization of learning. It is a production in the hands of learners. Put simply, in the transfer acquisition conceptualization of learning, technologies are used by teachers and instructional designers for action upon the students. But In the construction conceptualization of learning, it is used by students for action in and upon the world. Use of technology based in the transfer, acquisition, conceptualization of learning has been further entrenched through the use of instructional design models. The most common instructional design models, ADDIE, backward design, understanding by design, SAM, Merrill's first principles of instruction, Gagne's 9 events of instruction, the Dick and Carey model, Kemp's instructional design model, and so on. All of these instructional design models follow similar stages of instructional design. In the first stages, the designer determines measurable learning objectives. In the next stage, the designer determines what forms of evidence will be used to learner's mastery of the learning objectives. Then materials and activities are gathered and or developed. The design is implemented and then tested and revised towards optimal efficiency and effectiveness. This approach encourages the design of learning only things which can be objectively assessed. If it can be assessed, we can teach it. If it can't be tested or assessed, we don't even include it in our instructional designs. Popular rubrics and standards for assessing the quality of online courses demand that there be clear alignment between the learning objectives, assessments, learning activities, and content. Instructional design models often adopt language developed by constructivist educational researchers. For example, by using words such as scaffolding, active learning, or ownership of learning. However, the assumption that the instructional designer has the authority to determine the learning objectives, content, and assessment reveals the degree to which they are grounded in the transfer, acquisition, conceptualization of learning. Are there any instructional design models grounded in the construction, conceptualization of learning? Unfortunately, there are not. But this means we also have a moment of tremendous opportunity. I want to go back to the bigger picture for a moment. My initial question was, what is learning? Intrinsically related to this question is another, what is the purpose of education? This question was central to John Dewey's work over a century ago. In 1897, Dewey, the great-grandfather of educational research, said, "I believe that much of present education fails because it conceives the school as a place where certain information is to be given, where certain lessons are to be learned, or where certain habits are to be formed. The value of these conceived as lying largely in the remote future. Do these things for the sake of something else he has to do. They're mere preparations." He went on to describe an early formulation of the construction conceptualization of learning. Education must be conceived as a continuing reconstruction of experience. And the goal of education is the fundamental method of social progress and reform. This was over 100 years ago that he formulated these early conceptualizations of construction instead of transfer. Dewey argued that education structured around the transfer acquisition conceptualization is oppressive. The traditional scheme is, in essence, one of imposition from above and from outside. It imposes adult standards, subject matter, and methods, even though good teachers will use devices of art to cover up the imposition so as to relieve it of its obviously brutal features. More than half a century later, the Brazilian educational philosopher Paulo Freire built upon this theme. In 1970, he argued that the transfer acquisition model of education turns students into containers, into receptacles, to be filled by the teacher. The more completely she, the teacher, fills the receptacles, the better a teacher she is. The more meekly the receptacles permit themselves to be filled, the better the students are. It is through education that students are oppressed and stripped of agency. The more students work at storing the deposits entrusted to them, up the critical consciousness that will result in their intervention in the world as transformers of that world. The more completely they accept the passive role imposed on them, the more they tend to simply adapt to the world as it is and to the fragmented view of reality deposited in them. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, the French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu was arguing that this form of oppression through education is symbolic violence, insofar as the imposition of a cultural arbitrary by an arbitrary power. Pierre Bourdieu went on to argue that this transfer acquisition form of education is the means by which social inequalities and injustices are reproduced and perpetuated. Freire offered an alternative view to the purpose of education characterized by praxis, reflection, and action upon the world in order to transform it. The educational theorist Jerome Bruner explained that the purpose of education is aiding young humans in learning to use the tools of meaning-making and reality construction to better adapt to the world in which they find themselves and help in the process of changing it as required. This critical pedagogy is grounded in the construction conceptualization of learning. And, like Dewey, it is predicated upon an explicit rejection of the transfer acquisition conceptualization. Because true learner agency is impossible in the transfer acquisition conceptualization, practices based on this conceptualization are incompatible with empowerment, human rights, and social justice. Joe Kinchelow described the core of critical pedagogy by saying, a central theme of those who define critical constructivist educational questions centers on whose construction of reality will prevail and whose ought to prevail. Education designed around the construction conceptualization of learning shifts agency to learners, and in doing so becomes emancipatory, empowering, and transformative. As Bell Hook reminds us, this education is the practice of freedom. There is an urgent need to develop instructional design models which empower learners. My goal today is not to offer a new instructional design model. That's up to you to develop. I hope somebody in the audience today will take it upon themselves to explore this. However, I will offer a few ideas for consideration in developing new instructional design models to empower learners. First, we could focus on the design of learning environments rather than on the design of materials and activities. Second, we could explore ways of facilitating reflective practices embedded in productive practices. In other words, how could we operationalize Freire's concept of praxis to engage learners and ourselves in simultaneous reflection on the world and action upon the world? Third, we could experiment with various means of engaging learners in continual critical thinking, develop the skills and habits of questioning information. Who created it? Why was it created? Who benefits? And who does it marginalize? Finally, as the father of instructional technology, Seymour Papert, suggested, we could structure our designs around learners creating things which have immediate real-world impact. So, now I leave you with some questions to ponder. And back to the first question I raised. What is learning? How can we use technology to empower learners? How can we transform our teaching away from practices which reproduce systems of oppression? How can we counteract the common sense, transfer, acquisition, conceptualization of learning? Common sense is hard to fight, but common sense is constructed. And finally, how can we restructure our beliefs and practices towards absolute respect for the human dignity, agency, and authority of and every community of learners? Thank you.
To wait until mission get our turn. So for the participant who is going to ask question, please be prepared because there will be only 25 minutes for all partner universities to give questions to the speakers. So we have to be really ready. Yes. This process will be organized by Universitas Negeri Semarang, so we have to wait. It's not us who is the operator of this conference, so we still have to wait. Everything is fine in host university, including the speaker and our turn to speak.
Ya nggak tahu aja.
Sejak kontak yang Pak Sri
the next 5 years or 3 years or 10 years, which direction and right now currently that US.
We need to repeat the question.
Okay. You said that the context, the learning and the instruction learning and also the curriculum instruction development have gone to the direction what it is now. You learn, you in your presentation, you talk about the history of it. I would like to ask you, what is the future trend of the instructional and contextualized learning in the US context right now, and what is the newest theory that is becoming the contemporary development in the US?
Hello, UNES. That was the question from us, Universitas Kristen Satya Wacana. Can you hear us? Yes? Okay. Yeah.
You. My name is Risma Dayanti. I'm a student of University of PGRI. I have some question. We have already empowered the student by here in Indonesia by using curriculum 2013. There are some steps that we use. First is observing, questioning, analogy, experimenting, and creative networking. My question is, you said about we focus on design of learning environment. Do you think that such of those ways like observing, questioning, associating, experimenting, and creating networking are included in how we design a learning environment? And my second question is, would you please explain to us the example what you have done about designing a learning environment in the United States? Thank you.
Thank you for the time giving to me. Honorable keynote speaker, Mr. John Phillips, and audience. today we're really happy to join in this international seminar. As a teacher, we know that there are so many variety of student background, not only culture but also economic level. And how do we can create or collaborate the learning design with your conceptual technology, instructional design, and empowerment? Because if in your explanation you say that there are possibilities, technique, and perspective, you say that there are thought, action, conceptual learning, and then practice teaching and learning. In this case, how we can practice your concept that as a teacher, we have to filter the culture from technology, and we have to transform the good paradigm for our students. Thank you.
Bu Jessica, Bujis. Kamu kuasa. Yeah, please.
Okay, probably good evening for Dr. Chuanan and good morning here for all audience. My name is Jessica from Unimus. Actually, I already typed the question to you directly, but okay, I will answer you the questions. I've got two curiosities here. First, having your presentation is really good. However, I'm still thinking about the weakness of the technology. What do you think about that? Because, for example, just now when we watch your presentation, it's sometimes distracted by, technical problem of the technology itself. So do you think it's quite effective enough to use technology in learning? And again, what are the weaknesses probably we can anticipate before using technology in our learning process? And then the second one, we also need to transfer, like the affections to all of the students. How we can put emotion in the technology, because sometimes when we deal with log interaction or something like that, we cannot put our emotion, so we cannot directly interact with all of the students. That's all the question from me. Okay.
Katanya, ini videonya di-mute atau enggak ya? Tadi nggak coba ngeklik kamera kan? Tadi saya turn on, turn off, tak klik bukan gitu ya? Kan, di-mute aja di-mute. Itunan lagi.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and answer some of the questions I heard. The audio wasn't so good, so I'm asking the other questions that I did into the chat while they're doing necessarily. What are the that you, and as we demonstrate lots of weaknesses, knowledge, energy. transit weaknesses. For how weakness of technology is focusing on purpose of what we're doing. And so I find just my own view to that is when we put it the technology into the hands of the teachers, technology into the hands of the students, what do with it? Good result. Okay, about that I did here was about the trends in the United States and the new technologies that are becoming more popular in the future, and also what other trends are educational theories more and more popular in the future. First, to give you a clear idea of States context in the United States, some amazing teachers, but the problem is educational research gets implemented in it doesn't in practice. The things that the educational researchers find, the evidence they find for different practices, different modalities, different technologies, etc., it never makes way to the classroom. The students never see it. Talking about John Dewey, 100 years ago, he was complaining about how bad things were, and he proposed a new vision for education, and there was no impact, even though everybody thinks of John Dewey as this great figure of educational research, the great-grandfather of all educational research in the world. John never really implemented in the schools. And I think that gives you some background as to what I'm going to say next. And that is, in educational research, the big new thing is embodied learning, situated learning, and embodied learning. So when learning is not just in the brain, but with the whole body, you use your stomach to think. You use your hands to think. You use your whole body, but also you use the context, and that is situated learning. So you use your context, and together you make sense of everything with others in your context. And that situated learning plus embodied learning is really the big important thing these days. But the problem we're finding is that these wonderful ideas are really, really good in small tests, small little experiments, but because the educational policy in the United States is focused on learning objectives and tests, we can't do anything about it. Therefore, the only way we can change education, I feel, in the future is to change our conceptualization of learning. So forget the idea that learning is transferring information into my brain, and embrace the idea that learning is constructing meaning. My meaning, together constructing meaning, as a society constructing meaning, and that is my answer of the way forward. Now there's some other questions in the Google Hangouts that I'm going to read real quick. Okay, there's a question, says, can you give me some explanation about the reflective practices and also the productive practices that can be applied or given effectively to young learners, especially in early childhood education? Now, I think that early childhood education is, I think it's important that we start the reflective practices early. And those reflective practices, I think, should always be not just reflection and reflective, and not just production and making stuff. I think it should be action upon the world. Even little kids working with their schools and their communities to change their communities, to make the world a better place. And that should be the main form of action and reflection at the same time. So the action and the reflection go hand in hand. And you should reflect as your action. And that's a habit that if we can help young children start to master that. And as they're reflecting, also remember to help them always question everything. So if they're told, oh, this is the truth, or this is a fact, automatically think, who said so? Who made that? Why did they make that idea? And who does that idea help? And who does that idea hurt? Okay. And one other question here was, so the positivism versus the constructivism and constructivist learning, what practices? So there are a lot of people who use constructivist education, but they still think that they're transferring information into the students' minds. There's a lot of people who use constructivist practices, but not really, not at the heart of what they're doing. And so I believe that to truly do the constructivist practices and to embrace construction of meaning, then you have to reject positivism, and you have to reject transferring information, and you have to reject everything that goes along with the transfer idea, including you have to reject tests, you have to reject textbooks, you have to reject any form of assessment unless it's student generated from the students and together, and the teachers are going to have a really hard time with that, because we tend to like to lecture at the students and hope they remember it and then give them a test. But that's the positivist way of thinking. And if we want to ever make a dramatic change in society toward what John Dewey and Paulo Freire and Pierre Bourdieu and all those other educational researchers who imagine a better world and a better way of education, I think those practices have to be done with a rejection of positivism and a rejection of the transfer metaphor. Okay, let's see here. I don't see any other questions online. Are there any other questions you wanted to put in the Google Hangout so I could read them? Okay, I got one more question in the Google chat, and that was, what are the future trends and in the United States in terms of instructional design, about instructional technology a bit and educational research. But instructional design, I don't see any change to this idea that instructional design should follow the same pattern of we decide the learning objectives, and then we decide how we're going to test you, give activities. That seems to be something that's not changing, and that's something I'm working very hard to change. But I think we need a new instructional design model that would help us do that. But I have not developed one, and that's why I'm calling for you. Please, please develop some. And if you have any awesome ideas, I can help spread this. Thank you very much.
Okay, please recall Ms. Sufarok Atikom Suan from Thailand to come. And also Ibu Nur Fadila Muhammad and also Mr. Chua Che Huayan from Taiwan University. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, right. About empowering education too. Not so far from that, yeah. Okay. Then all the participants, may I introduce our speakers first. The first speaker is Dr. Sufarok Atikom Suang. That's the right spelling, I told her name. Okay. She is a lecturer and also active in Department of Human and Community Resources Development, Faculty of Education and Development Science, Kasetsat University. Is that right? Okay, thank you. She is also Associate Managing Editor of the Institute of Personnel Management Association in Thailand, PMAT. And now she is also Human Resources and OD. What is that, OD? Yeah. Open Organization Development Consultant, as a consultant in 8020 Group. Okay. She will present her paper with the title Human Resources Development for Green Sustainability. Okay, the second speaker will be Dr. Nur Fadila Muhammad Amin. She is a senior lecturer at the Department of Technical and Engineering Education, Faculty of Education, University Technology Malaysia, where she has been there since 1996. She also currently serves as Coordinator of Innovation, Faculty of Education and Coordinator of General Subject Center of Co-Curriculum and Services Learning, University Technology Malaysia. Her research interests span the fields of technical and vocational education, design and technology, creativity and innovation, range of skills, and assessment and measurements in vocational education. She is now a project leader for research sponsored by Malaysia Ministry of Home Affairs on quality management of criminal crime, criminal investigation. She was also awarded research university grants for her study on the indicator of self-directed learning, readiness among undergraduate students in the area of vocational education, and also the implementation of internship and a coursework in teaching and learning undergraduate students. Okay, that's her simple biodata. And then the third speaker, sir, is Dr. Che Huayang. He received his bachelor degree in mechanical engineering at National Taiwan University in 1984 and get his master and doctoral degree also in mechanical engineering at Johns Hopkins University, United States. Okay. And she get respectively graduate. Yeah? From 1991 to 1993, he was a research associate for, he joined a research associate for Career Center of Non-Destructive Evaluation, Johns Hopkins University. He was been as associate professor and professor in Changgung University, Taiwan until 2007. Since 2008, he is a professor in Graduate Institute of Manufacture Technology in Taipei Technology, Taiwan. His research areas is ultrasonic, laser ultrasonic, finite element methods, and structural mechanics. Okay, the last one is Professor Madya Dr. Abdul Halim bin Hussein from University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. His work experience is professor in Fakultas Seni, Komputer dan Industri Kreatif UPSI. Okay. Maybe, and now he is deputy dean of, isn't it? Okay, I think I need sometimes to collect this. Would you like to explain your position now, sir?
My background is I'm graduate in fine arts, Seni Rupa, and then my master's in UK in focus on multimedia in art education, and my degree, my PhD is in arts and culture. And I've been teaching in UPSI for nearly 18 years. And before that, I'm teaching in one of the teacher training college in Malaysia. So,
thank you very much. Now, for this session, each presenter will be take 20 minutes for presentation, and then we continue with question and answer. And also, we will give only 4 questions from each university. I will call all our participative university. That's Christian University Satyawacana, Universitas Muhammadiyah Semarang, UPGRIS, Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta, Universitas Negeri Makassar, dan Universitas Negeri Gorontalo. I hope we can connect with them very clear. So 20 minutes for every presenter. Yeah. We start with you first, Mrs. My name is Sufaro. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, my name is Supalak Atikumsuwan. I'm lecturer from Kasesa University. So, this is my pleasure to be here as a speaker. So, as I got informed that I will talk about green technologies and sustainable development. So today I'll try to connect what I had from my education background, which is human resource and development, and it will come up with the human resource development for green sustainability. So before we start, can you help? Yeah. Okay. From this picture, I will start this picture first. May I ask some on the floor whether what from this picture, what do you see from this picture? See birds, yeah. You can see birds, right? Like trees and everything, right? Greens, waters, and the central, you can see someone are driving a car, right? So, and this picture will tell you that we are living in the same system, but birds, humans, even the trees or the earth are subsystem. So we are living in the same system. That means that everything is connected to everything else, right? And this is one ecosphere for all living organisms. And what affect one, meaning that affect all. So, another pictures. Can you see here what the pictures setting? No. Yeah. Can you see? Just let me show the picture first. Okay. You can see many human activity, right? They use electronic devices to help them serve their needs and make them convenient as much as in the room. I think everyone has more than 2 devices, electronic devices today, right? For me as well, because today I have my iPad, my smartphones, my laptops. So everything, humans try to create and develop high technology to help them convenience in their life, right? So that's why it's maybe sometimes when we use many high technologies, it means that it is also impact to the natures, right? It's also impact to the nature, such as any changes, it's in impact to the nature system, and it's likely to be detrimental to that system. Thus, this is the sustainable development has been talked increasingly, and the World Commissions of on education and the World Commissions on Environment and Development has defined sustainable development as that means the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Okay. As same as Thailand as well, we also thinking about the sustainable development. So we define the sustainable development must be development that creates a balance or interdependence dimensions in the elements that make human life happy, equalities, social equalities, political equalities, cultural equalities, spiritual equalities, including natural resources and development both for current and future generations. So this is actually seem like the conceptual framework, right? Seem like the conceptual. But in the practice, we Thailand also think that if we want to get an achievement of sustainable development, one of the Ministry of the Industry of Thailand, they think about that as well. So this is because of the current situation, environment was affected by industrial growth actually, and it is time to future more develop, improve, and create awareness to the industry sectors on effect on environment in order that environment and industry can stay together sustainability. That's why the Ministry of Industry of Thailand have launched the Clean Industry projects in 2011, and this is aimed to develop the country into the country called a low carbon society. So green industry, let's move to and backwards. Green industry in definitions that we try to get that the Ministry of Industry define. It means that the industry management which utilize resources effectively and by using the widely accepted 3Rs. Do you mean 3Rs? 3R concept, which is reuse, right? Reuse, reduce, and recycle. Yeah, and green technology, green productivities, as well as eco designs, green labels and eco labels, life cycle analysis, pollution reductions, and reduce greenhouse gases emissions. Therefore, the green green industry is like the industry which commit to the environmentally friendly by focusing on two principles, which is continuous improvement and sustainable development. So this is our concept that I would like to give you some ideas about green industry. And next, which I will show you what the practicing which opens which occur in Thailand. Today, this is move to the next slide, please. Next slide, please. The example practice of green industry in Thailand. So, this practice is I have visited to this company to see whether how they move their to be a green industry, and one company which I pick up it is Ichitan Green Factory. Do you know Ichitan Green Tea in Malaysia? Yeah. I'm not sure that they have the manufacturing in Indonesia as well. So the Ichitan Green Tea manufacturing is located in Ayutthaya province in Thailand. So why I pick up this okay, before waiting for the presentation. Okay, the picture ones, green Ichitan example. The example. Next slide, please. Next slide. some errors. Because I have visit there with my uh, master students and master students to on my okay. Yeah, this is not it's true. Okay, thanks you. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, you can see this one. Ichitan green tree industry. When I went there, uh, Ichitan is the product of green tea product, and this factory is located at Ayutthaya province in Thailand. When I went there, I see that they, Kun Tan, I mean Tan Opat, Kun Tan, the CEO of Ichitan, he has decided to establish Tan Land, Tan Land, which is like a learning center of their products. The learning center shows many things that I think this is a good thing for students or visitors that we can go to see that not only they to produce the products, it's also reflecting on your activity with the environment. Right? Next, please. So you can see in the picture, this is the production line of the Ichitan green tea. But you can see in the picture, you will not see humans inside, right? Because they try to use the new technologies to help them produce the good products to the customer. And from this product, this production line, they're starting from produce the products until they store the products by using the auto warehouse, which is help them decreasing their costs and also help the environment friendly as well. So and next, this is back. This is another one. My students they go to learn about how to produce the products of Ichitan green tea, as well as how the impacts of environment that's coming to the human activities. So in this learning center, they give environmental information related to the products and service, so as to encourage consumer to be eco-friendly. You can see this picture. It also shows that they try to cultivating people to reduce the using waters. So the learning center of Ichitan is available for all visitors can go, and it's free of charge. So there are many people to go there and work, learn about how to reduce the using of water, as well as how to save the world. So next, please. Here, that's mean the visitor learn how to take a part in sustainable social development to preserve and efficiently utilize natural resources and to help protect the earth, as well as this is also to encourage and create a green network with their stakeholders. so as to promote sustainable development. Okay, that's one is the my one company that's I visiting to. Is another one is Bangja Corporations Public Company Limited. This one also I will going. I went with my PhD students as well as my master's student as well to visit the Bangja. Why I choose Bangja? Bangja actually is the petroleum companies, and because of they have a strong visions in terms of how they the sustainable innovation business development is in harmony with the environment and society. So that's why the corporate culture of the Bangja is very strong in terms of environment, eco-friendly, and that's why they are. Yeah. Okay. Let's back this. From this policy, which they intend and would like to be as a good part of the earth, the company has asked people and build the employees culture in their organizations, which is to be virtuous, knowledgeable, and contributive to others. Meaning that when their employees has any activities, one of the objectives of each activity will be include the environmentally friendly inside. That means this is where they try to cultivate or instill their people, their employees, to awareness on the environment friendly. And it is also they try to connect others communities around them to learn about the eco eco sorry eco policy and practice together. And this is my pictures is we, as I told, we went with my PhD students and master students to learn about the how Bangja building a green network with their stakeholder, which is very our students has got many ideas that how they work with the community, because my department is humans and community resources development. So they got and inspire their ideas about the eco policy and practice, which is the real things that they got from the visiting to the Bangja. So all these two examples which I show you today, it's about learning again from Dr. for the first persons that talk about the learnings. So any related to the learning, then it's mean also related to human resource development. I think this is the definitions of the human resource development, or HRD, which is a process of shaping into individual values and beliefs and instilling required knowledge, skill, competencies, and attitude. This one is very important, attitude one, which Dr. Donaldson has talked already, through learning interventions to support the performance and sustainability of the whole system. So learning is the cause of HRD, right? And this is confirmed, which because if we have people learn to know how to live in the same organizations, then the pollutions may be not much more than today, right? and it's also any changes must be uh, from learning. We can say that it is focus is the focus is upon changes, upon change, meaning that change must be long lasting. And the focus of learning, I mean the outcome of the learning actually is will be cognitive, behavioral, and affective. The results of individual interaction with the learning environments as well. So another one that I will give you a concept as well of HRD is based on the theoretical foundations of human resource development. You can see this is called three legs and one ethics. Every time we think about the human resource development, we think about the process, how to release their performance, to have a good performance, right? To have a good behavior. Then under the theoretical framework, this you can see economic theories is also on one leg, and also system theories as well as psychological theories. However, when we develop people, we do not deny that ethicals is very important. So any times that we has the learning interventions and do the development people, or the theoreticals will be used or applied. So that's all, and I would like to conclusions how HRD is very important today, because people are human is very important key factors to bring our earth to be go green. Even though if the person has no ideas about how to go green, or how to use something like materials or natural resources efficiently, then the system or the designs of the high technology may be not applicable. So in terms of HRD goals, I have summarized it whether that if we want to go achieve in sustainable development, then we as a humans, maybe we would like to build or cultivate people as green humans. I mean, green humans for organization and communities. And how to? First of all, we have to know your people first. Now we know each other. We know each other well or not. Because each person has the difference of mindset, of motivations. So when we have to build someone or instill someone to have a green concept, we have to know them, whether they what ages. Maybe different ages have different behavior, right? So we have to learn them first. And then we have to design the learning intervention, which is also, I think this consistent with Dr. Jonathan, sorry. Consistent with Dr. Jonathan's that in terms of learning intervention is very important for green policy and practice. And also, as well, we have to develop the learning medias. The learning medias may be it should be is suitable for the individual life, and it should be easy to understand, and it should be maybe we have now we have under the digital age. Sometimes learning media maybe we can access to anywhere. It is maybe for the next future. 1 minute break. For the next future, we may think about how we use smartphone. You have smartphone right now, and we can learn the applications about anything that related to the green policies and practice. Yeah, And we should encourage and create a green network as well, as I show you on my green tea factory. So participation of everyone is very important, and stakeholder management is required. And we should develop the recognitions and rewards as well, because when we said about people, we want them to do or behave something. The rewards and recognitions is very important. And we may develop the green and environment culture as well. And the last one, we should develop the human indicators. What does indicator? Meaning that because when we develop people, we should know current their competence. And then if we want them to be the green humans, so we should know what the green human is. That's why this is an indicator that I mean. So this is just a little bit ideas that I'll throw to the class, to the rooms. For I heard that someone is a master degrees and PhD degree, right? So you can think about the ideas and inspiration yours, whether how the green humans be. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sufaruk from Kasasat University. And for the next is Ibu Dr. Nor Fadilah Muhammad Amin.
Are we ready with the slide? Is that?
Okay, meanwhile waiting, we just conclude. Can you start? Okay. Mrs. Nor Fadilah binti Muhammad Amin from UTN, please.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. My fellow invited speaker, Prof. Chia Huyang, Dr. Atichom Swan, and Professor Dr. Abdul Halim, ladies and gentlemen, participants of iset 2017, I would like to congratulate all for being able to stay here up to now to listen to the speech. Thank you very much. A big hand for every one of you. Well, I hope at this hour, my speech will be an eye-opener for everyone, hopefully. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillah, thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here with all great people in UNES. For your information, this is my first time to UNES. But this is not my first time in Semarang. I've been here in Semarang for many times, and the last time I was here somewhere in March. Is it ready? Well, let me introduce myself. Yeah, my name is Nor Fadilah Muhammad Amin. I've been in University Technology Malaysia more or less 20 years. I'm started as a tutor in Department of Technical and Vocational Education. I got my PhD degree in University Technology Malaysia in the area of vocational and technical education as well. And my research is on design and technology, whether it's in a primary school level or higher institution. Any one of you have been to Malaysia before? Put up your hand. Is there any? Oh, before I get started with my papers, okay, my speech today will be on the collaboration, will be on the internationalizations, how we benefit internationalizations, for the betterment of our nation. Excuse me, allow me to go there to see what happened, to help them out. Is it? All right, so this is technology. Whether you like it or you hate it, we have to live with it. Wow, I'm very much impressed with the presentation of Dr. Suparuk just now about the green technology, about the green scale and whatnot. Because now in Asian country, we really look at this thing seriously. My presentation, my speech today is kind of different from what have been presented just now. Okay, since we have like many universities cooperate in this, I can say in this successful conference, I would like to share with you a story. Yeah, a story about a successful of collaboration internationally between two universities, Indonesia and Malaysia, how we get started, how we overcome all the obstacles. So this is my story. Okay, basically my presentation will be on the internationalizations of teaching practices. Actually, I'm a lecturer in the Department of Technical and Engineering Education. I heard from Dr. Rodia that you have the Faculty of Technical and Vocational Education here in UNIS. I foresee so many collaboration in the near future. So, and the success story of Malaysia and Indonesia. Basically, we conducted a mini research if I'm not mistaken, a few years back about this. And then this is collaboration between myself and my fellow friend from UBRIS, Dr. Lisianing Sumardiani. She's here, my very best friend from UBRIS. Okay, before I get started, I believe that not every one of you know about my institution, right? So allow me, give me like 2-3 minutes to introduce to you about my institution. All right. Well, guys, Semarang and UTM is not so far. It's like 2 hours by flight. Means that if you travel by car from Semarang to Jogja, I already reached Skudai, you still in, I think, Magelang. Yeah, something like that. All right. So it's very near. So from Skudai to Semarang. So this is the grand entrance of my university. So my university is located at southern part of Malaysia, all right, near to Singapore. Wow, Singapore, and near to Batam. Yeah, so you can go to my universities via ferry from Batam. So this is basically 1 hour from Singapore airport, 1 to 2 hours flight to a main destination, including Taipei, Thailand. Yeah. So we're very near to Singapore. In fact, last Monday I'll be here via Changi Airport. Okay, top 10 reason why you should come to UTM is either you want to study, you want to visit us, you want to do a collaboration. The 10 top reason why, one of those because we have the expertise. We have the excellent center of research. We've been facilitated, we've been equipped with state-of-the-art kind of tools and equipments and lab. And we've been recognized, especially in the area of engineering worldwide. So yeah, I welcome all of you to UTM. So basically we have like 21,000 students and 3,076 international students. We have like 4,347 PhD students, and we have 17 schools. It's including Center of Excellence. Yeah. This is about the story, the success story. This is our Chancellor, the Royal Highness Rajazari Sofia. If you know her, I mean the queen with a brain, a queen with a big heart. So he started because we care fund to help students in UTM, especially the poor one. All right. So this is about the UTM restructuring. Yeah? Okay, now get started. Okay, let's start with our core business. Why international? Why internationalization? Okay, it starts with this. Okay, it's written in Bahasa Malaysia. Let me translate. Okay, this is a Malaysian blueprint. Okay, related to education for higher education. The Ministry of Education has planned this in 2013, and 2 years after that, okay, they launched this blueprint. So we have basically 10 trusts, okay, to make this plan successful. And one of the plan is to intensifying internationalization programs. All right. So that's okay. All right. What is teaching practice? Why we choose to collaborate with UBRIS? Okay, it's like this. We know that Universitas Pendidikan Guru Republik Indonesia, sama ada di Semarang, whether in Semarang, whether in other parts, other prefectures of Indonesia, they are very good teacher education institution. In UTM, we have a faculty of education, and in my case, I'm in Department of Technical and Engineering Education. We have Department of Science, Mathematics and Multimedia Creative, and we also have departments of Education Foundation and Social Sciences. Okay, we produce teachers. Prior graduation, they have to complete certain hours, what we call practicum, teaching practice. Okay, in our country, basically 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. 12 weeks. So before this, our student teachers, okay, will go to school and do their teaching practice in any school, whether in the Sekolah Kejuruan, whether in SMA, in Malaysia, fully. And then suddenly, in 2012, I don't know where it's come from, but I'm sure it's from Semarang. So we have an initial discussion with UBRIS, and we started 2012, send our students, okay, for teaching practice. How many months? 1 month to few prefecture in Indonesia. We start with 3 universities, namely universities obese. We send our students to University Negeri Yogyakarta, and we also send our students at Unismo Makassar, University Muhammadiyah Makassar. We started humbly with 3 universities. We send like 10 students for each universities. What they do, they will go to the school. They will be supervised by docent from this universities for a month long. Why is it a month? Because if we stay in Indonesia more than a month, so the documentation will be kind of painful, and we end up with the application is turned down, So we try our very best to plan the duration, so it's no more than a month. And the best thing that these universities, they send their students to do the teaching practice in Malaysia as well. You see the beautiful of the collaboration? Okay, what is teaching practice? Okay, the teaching practice is like an internship. It's like a practicum whereby the student teachers, they go to school and practice teaching. It's very simple, because I know in this hall, I think we are in various background, like my friends here, Professor Hua Yang is an engineering area, so he might not know what is teaching practice. So teaching practice is that these students, they go to school for about 3 months and they're teaching, they practice, they've been supervised, they've been guided by the schools, by the lecturers from the university as well. And the important part is they practice what they have learned in the universities in the actual context of schools. Because before this, okay, when they learn in class in the universities, they teach in the campus setting. Okay, no students. But for teaching practice, they will go to school, they will teach whatever subject that they are, their field of expertise, and then they apply all the knowledge and the skills there. Alright. So 12 weeks, basically. So what is international teaching practice? Means that we send our student abroad for a month. And then they return to Malaysia, they return to UTM, and they complete the balance of the teaching practice hours in Malaysia. Alright? Okay. The purpose of my paper, the purpose of this study is that to identify the student readiness, the student challenge, the student perceptions, and we also conducted inferential statistic to see whether there are differences in these 3 constructs according to the program. We send basically like 30 students with various backgrounds. Students from civil engineering with education, electrical, electronics, mechanicals, and living skills. So we send there. And then basically this is a quantitative study, and we use survey approach. Okay? We use questionnaire as our instruments, and the sample of this research is our students who went to Indonesia, basically 34 of them, yeah? And we constructed the instrument, we developed the instrument, we test the validity and reliability, and until the instrument is ready to be used in the study. So we use both quantitative and qualitative study. So these are the findings. Well, like the aspect, okay? Basically, before this, okay, when our students, completed their teaching practice in Malaysia, I can see there are many of them are not really I can say that those who come back from Indonesia, they have very different perspective to become a teacher. I would like to congratulate my friend from UBRIS, from UNISMO, and from UNY, because when we receive your students to our country, our students, our school teachers, our school students, they love you guys very much. They love your methods, they love your approaches, they love your techniques. What they love most is they love the way you communicate with them. I always emphasize this to my fellow friends, whether from UBRIS, Makassar, or Jogja. What you have done to your students, they are they can converse very well. They can converse very well. They have, in their brain, in their mind, there's a full of vocabulary, which I think our students lacking. Okay, we come back to this. So most of the students for this program, they are ready. They are ready. So they know how to write the teaching, what I mean is the teaching plans, yeah? They can apply the knowledge by lecturers in teaching. Basically, they are ready. They are very much ready for the international teaching practice. In terms of selections, we are very, very serious. We scrutinizing the application one by one. We interview them. We make sure that they can converse well in English. Some of them surprisingly can converse in Indonesia. You know what? In Malaysia, we have sinetron as well. So I suppose these people, these students, they learn Indonesian from watching the sinetron. Yeah. Okay. Basically, they are very ready. Not only in the knowledge and skill perspective, but only the culture, the physical aspect, the macro aspect of this international teaching practice. Okay, next. This is the continue of the first one. About the challenge, yes, they have challenge. Yesterday when I was to one of the restaurant, we talked so many about this, about the language. Okay, for example, putar and pusing. When I came here in 2014, I told my fellow friends in Bahasa Indonesia like this, Ibu, can you bring me pusing in Semarang, right? Pusing di Semarang. I told them, can I visit Semarang? I'm using the Indonesian term pusing. And then she asked me, are you alright? Yes, I'm very much alright. That's why I want to go. Pusing. So pusing in Indonesia is actually headache, right? Right. Yeah. See the difference, right? So the challenges that been faced by our students is languages, but it's only minor challenges, okay? But most of them can easily encounter the challenges, and they are happy here. And then, what are the perceptions? What are their perceptions? Okay, their perception basically is very much positive. They told us, thank you for the opportunity. This program is really an eye-opener. My perceptions on Indonesia vocational education changed 180 degrees. I learned so much. I learned so much from the schools, from the Guru Pamong, from the rakan-rakan pendamping, and from the lecturer as well. And the most important thing, they understand that the importance of vocational education in Indonesia. Indonesia regards vocational education, okay, at the same level as academic education. But in some countries, I can say in Malaysia as well, maybe Prof. Halim agree with me, we don't regard vocational education as good as Indonesia. But we slowly climb up the stairs to uphold the quality of vocational education. And in 2012, the Ministry of Education has transformed our vocational education. So with this, I am very much hopeful that our community can benefit so much. All right. So basically, they are very positive regarding of the this international teaching practice. Okay. The differences. We send our student, Professor Huayang, we send our engineering student, we send our social science students, but their perceptions on this international teaching practice is the same. Whether you are from engineering background, whether you are in social sciences, they benefit a lot. So means that there's no difference at all. Okay, I'm almost done. Well, since the time is very much, not on my side, I welcome all of you for many, many collaborations with University Technology Malaysia for Universitas on that top line of the posters. If you are interested to do a collaboration with my University Technology Malaysia, you can come to me and maybe we can change cards. With that, very much thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Nur Fadila. And since we have a very limited time, so we have give 15 minutes for Mr. Che Huayang, okay, and continue.
Ready? Okay. Thanks for all of you. Today, because this conference is called iset, so I'm not in the education side. I'm more in the technology side. So before I came here, I set a very technical topic. It's called laser ultrasound technique under the industrial applications. And I don't know if people here are interested in this topic or not. But first, let me introduce where do I come from. I come from Taipei, Taiwan, which is very near the 101 Tower. And so for those of you interested in the 101 Tower, Taipei City, welcome to Taipei. And my university, called the National Taipei University of Technology, or simply Taipei Tech, we are founded in 1912. Right now, we just celebrate 105 years. And we are the oldest engineering school in Taiwan. And a very important number is that more than 10% of the CEO in Taiwan's stock market companies are from Taipei Tech. So we have done a lot of engineering education, and we have produced a lot of bosses in Taiwan's engineering society. And in 2014, we are ranked as the top 100 in Asia. And this year, we are ranked about at top 200 in mechanical engineering. So this is about Taipei Tech. And well, my talk is going to be very, very technical. And in fact, and this is the education we have done for our students. Well, I'm talking about ultrasound. I mean, what matter about ultrasound? What is ultrasound? And ultrasound is an elastic wave that with a frequency greater than 20 kilohertz. So that means that human cannot hear that. The thing is that you can see the propagation of ultrasound in one direction, but the oscillation can be in two different directions. And there's another kind of ultrasound which can propagate in different structures. For example, a plate, a surface, a rail, and many other different things. And the thing is that what can we use this kind of technology? The first application will be in medical. I mean, lots of medical ultrasound has been implemented. For example, the imaging, for example, the Doppler to determine what kind of flow rate your heart can pump, and also for treatment, and also for geological applications, non-destructive testing. That's why every time I fly an airplane, I have a fear that whether the airplane is going to be safe. And that really relies on our non-destructive testing to determine whether the flight is going to be in a safe condition. And also very important is that the electronics. Nowadays, everybody uses an iPhone or cellular phone, which has a very small volume. That relies on ultrasound also to have a very simple and small filter. So that's the application of ultrasound. And ultrasound in non-destructive testing or non-destructive evaluation is so important in every aspect. For example, in aviation, just like what I talked, also in shipyard, in civil engineering, and in many different areas. Okay, railway, shipyard, refinery, and also nuclear. So what I have done for the past few years is called laser ultrasound. And usually, if you want to produce an ultrasound, you use a transducer. For those transducer you can see here. But what I have been doing is that we try to generate ultrasound, not using the contact transducer, but using lasers, okay? So you use a laser for generation, and also you use a laser for detection. This means that you don't have to contact the tested sample. So you use a pulse laser to generate ultrasound, which can propagate in a sample. So, so the advantage is that this is a remote and non-contact detection. So this is very suitable for online measurement. And this has been adapted to high temperature, point-wise, and lots of applications. And what I'm going to tell you is that, well, I guess this is too technical. I'm going to skip about that. Okay. That's too much. Okay. One of the applications is in nuclear fuel. You know, in nuclear fuel, right now we are looking at energies, but nuclear fuel is one of the important one here. The thing is that the nuclear fuel can get called up the fuel reliability. The way you can detect the inclusion of hydrogen in nuclear fuel is using this kind of so-called laser ultrasound technology we have been using. So this is one way we implement this technology. And the other way, let's a lot of things here. I'm not going to deal with that. The other application is that this is for high temperature, very engineered. The other application is in electronic industry. You know, we are using a lot of called OLED display, OLED display. This is in cellular phone, in TV, and many other areas. So we have been using this in this area also. Okay, so we implemented in a factory in Taiwan producing this kind of OLED displays here. So that's using our technology, and which has been very successful. I get only 15 minutes, right? So I think for the time depth, maybe it's good that I can give you a little bit of introduction about Taipei Tech with a video that's rather than go through these technical details. Okay, so can you show me the video? There's another file about video. Okay. I think this will give you more information rather than I keep telling you. So this is
National Taipei University of Technology, also known as Taipei Tech. The campus is located at Zhongxiao Xinsheng MRT station. Many attractions like Huashan 1914 Creative Park, Sintren, and Guanghua Digital Plaza are right at the corner. Convenient transportation systems enable elites to gather in Taipei Tech. Under the influence of technology and cultural and creative industry, Taipei Tech has cultivated numerous influential talents in many different fields. Taipei Tech's 6 colleges are Mechanical and Electrical Engineering and Computer Science, Engineering, Management, Design, and Humanities and Sciences, with 19 bachelor's, 25 master's, and 17 doctoral programs, and 26 research centers. The College of Mechanical and Electrical Engineering mainly focuses on research fields of mechanical and electrical integration, automation, Industry 4.0, new energy and energy-saving technology, intellectual automobile, and so forth. The College of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science is devoted to cultivate elites of electrical, electronic, electro-optical, and information technology. To elevate teaching and research quality, our teachers set up many research groups like intellectual electronics and remote healthcare. Systemically, the College of Engineering is dedicated to develop specialists on civil and disaster prevention, material resources, organic molecular, chemical engineering, environmental planning and management, and biotechnology. We integrate resources on and off campus to construct a quality study and research environment. The College of Management centralizes on industrial engineering management, business management, and information and financial management, offering overseas EMBA programs in Thailand, Dongguan, and Shanghai. The College of Design sets its target on developing talents on cultural innovation and sustainable environment, and focuses its teaching and research on the design of urban, architecture, product, furniture, and interactive media. The College of Humanities and Social Sciences aims at cultivating academic and research talents of humanity. Language ability and interdisciplinary capacity are the most critical elements for the students. To connect students with enterprises, Taipei Tech has several laboratories with updated equipment synchronized with industry. Taipei Tech is also the pioneer in Taiwan that places internship as a requirement. Students can learn technical skills for their future career from 2-month practical training and internship before graduation. With over a century of long-standing history and experience, Taipei Tech is not only the witness of Taiwan's industrial development, but also one of the most important driving forces. Our research fields mainly focus on digital convergence, green technology, electric vehicle, sensor technology, and creative design. We apply our discoveries and results to the industries of health technology, intelligent technology, green technology, and humanities and creativity. The research achievements of digital convergence include smart TV, natural user interface for interactive technology, text semantic parsing technology for smart home appliances control, video streaming technology, software testing factory, and intelligent video analytics for embedded and wearable devices. As a top green university in Taiwan, Taipei Tech invented abundant eco-oriented techniques, including electric power-assisted bike, solid oxide fuel cell, and packaging and processable techniques for dye-sensitized solar cells. In addition, our achievements in breathable green pavement, green building, and eco-waterscape are also highly recognized. Taipei Tech is one of the important bases for the development of electric vehicles in Taiwan. Our campus is equipped with electrical vehicle powertrain dynamometer test system and driving simulator. We also achieve great success in developing the techniques of hybrid electric vehicles, electric motorcycle technique, wireless charging system, and so forth. To improve convenience and safety of our life, Taipei Tech is working on acoustic wave sensor, wearable sensor, and smart vision sensor. Serving both the technology and cultural and creative industries, Taipei Tech provides hands-on workshops, financial and legal advice, and so forth, as the platform for anyone who is interested in new product development or starting a business. Up to now, Taipei Tech students have been standing out in international design competitions and showing their intention of developing a better world for humankind. Since 2004, Taipei Tech has been requested by the governments of the Republic of Gambia, Kingdom of Swaziland, and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to establish elite programs to prepare the selected candidates to meet the critical needs of their countries. We welcome students from all around the world, and now we have more than 650 enrolled international students from over 50 countries. Also, to provide diverse international vision to our students, we invite more than 150 international visiting professors to deliver lectures and do research at Taipei Tech. With various updated equipment and diverse teaching environment, Taipei Tech students dedicate themselves to academic study and research. In addition to academic performance, they also energetically participate in art and sports clubs and school teams. The emphasis on both theory and practice, education and activity, is precisely the reason why Taipei Tech graduates are always the top favorites of Taiwan's enterprises. To encourage innovation and entrepreneurship, Taipei Tech develops sound plans on curriculum, experience heritage, finance, and entrepreneurship bases. In education and teaching, now we have more than 20 inter-school and second specialty courses. Innovation and entrepreneurship is listed as a required course in the curriculum of general education to develop the entrepreneurship of our students. Furthermore, we encourage our teachers to go abroad for in-service training and bring the latest resources back to Taipei Tech. As for the experience heritage, many professional specialist faculty are invited to provide consultation and counseling with our entrepreneurial teams and also assist the teams to acquire resources from the government. Taipei Tech established the iFoundry and InnoMaking space as the platform for startups who need space to test and produce their products. As for the financial part, supported by Taipei Tech alumni, we launched Taipei Tech Development Incorporated and Taipei Tech Innovation Company to help our students start up their enterprises. With over a century of profound history and experience in education, more than 10% of founders, board directors, and CEOs of Taiwan's listed companies are Taipei Tech alumni. They have demonstrated outstanding achievements in various professional and academic fields, nationally and globally. As a leading applied research-oriented technological university, Taipei Tech is committed to prepare our students to develop sturdy practical skills, innovative and entrepreneurial thinking, and global state of mind. Most important of all, we strive to provide all of the possible resources to advanced research that will best serve Taiwan and the world for the next 100 years.
Thank you. So I want to summarize about the education in Taipei Tech. And first is that we are strongly tied with the industry. That means that we are producing CEOs and we are producing bosses for the Taiwan industry. That's number one. Second is that we are very internationalized, meaning that we are getting students, we are getting professors from the international society, and it's inbound and also outbound. Third is that we are very focused on entrepreneurship, meaning that we have an iFoundry, we have funds for students to begin the business. So lots of new education concepts are being carried on to make this old university for more than 100 years to be a new business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Che Huayang. Okay, now we come to the last presenter or speakers, Mr. Professor Dr. Abdul Halim. The time is yours.
I want to use this restroom. Thank you for inviting me for this conference or seminar. And Assalamu alaikum and a very good day to all of you. I'm not sure how many minutes that I have. 15 minutes? Oh, I have all the time. I'm honored to speak here at this seminar organized by UNES and also the respective universities that organized the seminar. And I think I don't have any more time to introduce myself, but I want to look at the slide that I want to present to you all. This is my topic, what I want to talk to the audience today. New media approach through art and arts education in the 21st century learning. So my background is on arts education and arts. So my interest is, when we talk about art education, my interest is more on multimedia and new media in education, in arts education. So the question of how teachers teach students in the 21st centuries, or the issue of how teachers teach arts in the postmodern era. So this is a new paradigm of teaching arts in schools. And also, this is also the new paradigm of how to teach arts in higher education institutions, where we focus on new media and also we focus on these ICT issues. Slide 1, please. Okay, I have here. As we know, the modern age, which sounds as if it will last forever, is fast becoming a thing of past. So those days when we are teaching in schools, we are using all the traditional pedagogical aspects. We teach in class, for example, we teach arts, because this is my area. We are using all the traditional materials. But But now we are in the 21st century or in a postmodern era. So the issue now is how we want to be a good teacher using all the technology and using all the media and new media in education, especially when in my area I'm talking about how teachers teach arts using technology. The technology that I mean is new media, ICTs, and all the applications that have today. The explosion of ICT and the new media and technologies provide new challenges for innovation in art, because in arts also, if we visit the galleries today, all the artists now, they are using all the new media for their arts presentation. And also, I always ask for my students, if in the galleries now, in the art galleries now, they already use the new technology to present their artworks, how about the teaching process, learning process in schools and also in the higher institutions? Do the lecturers or do the teachers aware of the new technologies of teaching arts education, and do the lecturers in universities aware of the new media that have been used by the artists in the galleries when they present their artworks? So this is the issue where I'm focused on how teachers or how lecturers teach their students using new media and ICTs. So I said that art educators are to make use of the potential offered by new information. So in the 21st centuries and in the postmodern era, all teachers should sensitive with the potential that offered by new information and communication technologies and new media. Although we heard that there are a lot of issues when we talk about technologies or ICTs or computers in schools, because this depends to the skills of the teachers, depends to the budgets, and depends to the needs to change the paradigm of looking arts and teaching arts in schools. So there are many issues that I said relating to the current issue of ICT and new media in art education, especially in schools. I'm not sure in Indonesia, but in Malaysia, when I'm doing my master's in multimedia in art education in England, since 1997, I'm doing multimedia in art education. Until now, we are still have a problem with implementation of ICT or using technology or using multimedia or new media in arts education in the classroom. So we have left so far from developed country where they have implemented since 30 years ago. So I always try to convince the Ministry of Education in Malaysia when I'm meeting with the board, saying that for nearly 30 years we have left behind in schools learning process regarding arts education, and I'm sure it's happened also in Indonesia, because all the development countries have used all these new media, ICTs, and also the advanced nearly 30 to 40 years that we have left behind. So that when we are going to implement this pedagogical in using ICT or new media in the classroom or in higher institutions, the rapid growth towards new media influences the social interactions, arts, practice, and education system. This is what people said in their writings, that we are so aware that we also know that technology have been surrounding with all the application that we have, that we use, but when it comes to the learning process, we still have the problems on using all the technologies in the classroom. Visual art educators, especially, I'm focusing to the visual art educators, responsibility is closely linked to the context of the national education philosophy. So when we look at the national education philosophy and we look at the Malaysian, our Malaysian PPP, that is the Plan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia, we also have the pillars that focus on the technology. So I'm always talk to my students that this is the time when you have to focus on this technology so that we are in line with the other countries that using all the technologies in their learning process. The environment with the new technologies and ICT, such as new media, is changing people's life in terms of social, economic, and political management, and also in arts practice. So if we visit the arts gallery, especially in Malaysia, we can find all the artists now are very sensitive to this new technology. So when we look at the young contemporary exhibitions, they all use all the application that relate to the new technology and relate to the situation that we are surrounding with all the application and the technologies. So why is that a very big questions about art education in schools, especially? We cannot come up with a pedagogical that's sensitive to the using of technology in producing the artworks by the students. So this is one of the applications that I visit UNIMAS. If University Malaysia Sarawak is one of the university that try to apply all the new media when they implement it to their students. And when I visit UNIMAS last month, and I am one of the external examiners of the final students' works by the UNIMAS Faculty of Applied Arts in UNIMAS. I think that is the only university that have the programs that integrate the understanding of arts in 21st centuries, where one of the students using this, what we call this 3D, what we call it, a 3D presentation, when we try to look his art through these applications. This is the student that using the applications that we have to wear the instruments so that we can look at the three-dimensional works by the students. This is the new technology that have been implemented in UNIMAS, or University Malaysia Sarawak. And that is the only university that I have visited that their students very sensitive to the new technologies when they create their artworks. This is another one where the student using computer to present his artwork. What happened in school is that we are still using the traditional material such as pencils, crayon, and paper, and all the traditional materials to do the artworks. But in line with this 21st century paradigm, we should implement, we should expose to the students in school whether we have one computer or two computers, but we have to expose to them to create a creative way of looking and understanding art through this new media and new technology, so that it will be in line with the artwork that produced by the students in Europe or in Australia or in US. So this is the awareness that the teachers should apply to their students in school. And this is one of the works by the students in University of Sarawak, where the video itself is the media, and the issue is also have been created as an issue in artworks. So the collaboration within artistic, technical aspects, all the video and the new technology, new skills, new paradigm of looking and understanding arts have been implemented, so that the students can get very good artworks and also produce something that relates to the 21st century's arts. And this is the other one of how the students in the university using apps in the smartphones as one of his artwork and how he present it. So we are not talking about aesthetics anymore. We are talking about the ideas, we are talking about the issues, and we are talking about how he sensitive with the new technology in this 21st century's era. And this is one of the video arts that we have to look in the box, in the very big box. Students become important through arts education. The issues of ICT and new media in the field of arts education now is the mastery of ICT skills among the higher institutions and schools. So visual arts educators should be wise in making revolutions. So if I said revolutions, that we have to turn it over, so that the direction of a comprehensive paradigm of integration in humanizing using understanding arts and technology. So globalization with the unbalanced news within nations and new order information of the world has become a widely discussed issue in the communication arena. In the area of arts and arts education, globalization can be realized with the existence of the global media. So we cannot stand in the silo where we just look at our area and our context only, but we have to use internet especially. We can use internet in connecting arts with other countries. So how teachers use internet, communicate their arts with other students in all over the world. So we can create a creative way of using, a creative way of designing application from internet based and understanding arts with other culture through internet. This is the project that should be done by teachers, and so that the globalization of arts and media will be spread over the world. So this is the visual education curriculum in Malaysia. The implementation of teaching and learning arts education approach are based on modern thinking. This is what happened in Malaysia. I'm always talking to the Ministry of Education and with the curriculum unit that we have to change some of the elements in the curriculum so that it's relevant to the 21st century's learning process. And using technology is the first thing that have to be implemented in school. However, not all of the orientation may be applied as teaching and learning approaches in Malaysia. That is what I said. Only a few approaches are used in the teaching methodology to carry out visual arts activities in schools, and even then it is not carried out as a whole. This is because of the changing of modern thinking to postmodern. This is the changing of paradigm when we are still teaching using the modern thinking, but now we should change to the 21st century's learning process. And this is the problem that we should implement in school. And this is the project with my master students when we try to implement computer using all the gadgets in school that they have, and the primary school can do it, When we try in one of the primary school, using the new media, we try to use computers and all the software inside the computers, but you see, the student can produce the drawing and the picture in such a way that they have the skills, they already have the skills. This is one of the pictures that have been done by one of the primary school students in Malaysia using computers. This is the one drawing using digital drawing. We can use the digital drawing as one of the way that using new media. It doesn't mean that new media is a video. It's also a drawing software. This is the drawing, the painting made by the primary students in one of my master student research. This is the drawing and the painting that was done by the primary students. And this is also the drawing, the digital drawing and the digital painting by primary students. And we can implement it with all the software that we have now to the secondary students, and also all the videos, all the internet-based and all the application in new technology, new media that we can use in primary school, secondary school, and also in the higher institutions. This is all have been done by the primary school when we try to implement using digital painting, digital drawing with my master students.
You can finish it in 1 minute.
All right. 3 minutes, please. Fostering creativity through new media such as ICT as well as awareness towards respecting culture is very important, and this is the main national agenda in the 21st century. All parties should cooperate in the determining that the younger generation have new knowledge with all these new applications, new media. Knowledge, skills, and more important, value, attitude, as well as ethics in the face of the new era for the common thought to be relevant in the current context. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Abdul Halim bin Hussain from UPSI. That's all the presentation of the fourth speaker of us. Now please give the applause for the fourth of our speaker. And we would like to give a chance for at least 4 universities to ask one question only, and you can mention First, your name, yeah, and your institution, and also to whom you will give your question. We start with UNES first. One question from UNES, and please mention your name and your institution and to whom you give the question. Okay, so many, but I think I will choose the man over there.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My question is going to address the issues brought by Dr. Nur Fadilah Ahmad Amin. Okay.
Your name, please.
Oh yeah, sorry. My name is Muhammad Rizky Adi Pratama from the postgraduate schools of Universitas Negeri Semarang. Along with the sophistication of technology, there have been numerous media and applications like making the applications to make paintings, for example, like the pop art in Corel and also the Photoshops, for example. Because of this, I'm worried that the conventional and the traditional art will extinct because the young generations will tend to use the media, the new technology to make paintings, for example. How should the teacher preserve the traditional and conventional artwork in this globalized era? And how the art educators should balance between the utilization of the conventional or the traditional tools like the ordinary paintings and the utilization of technology to make art paintings. Yeah, thank you so much.
And the next question, maybe from other university. Hello, Chris, UNY, Unimus. Are you ready for the question? Chris, okay. I think we cannot clearly hear maybe one can explain. Okay, Team IT, how can you help us? We cannot hear the question. Okay, again, technical problem. Maybe we can change to another university.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Thanks for
please.
your time. My question to Miss Suparok Atichongsuan from Thailand. In your paper under subtopic green industry approach, you mentioned about green products and services. Can you explain about green services and give us the example about that? Thank you very much. I will repeat once again my question. Okay. In your paper under subtopic green industry approach, you mentioned about green products and services. Can you explain about green services? Yang Thailandnya kan iya yang mid itu kan yang kecil. Dia nulis.
Okay, thank you. We just can hear one or two words. This is green product industry, and we just try to answer. Okay, and then maybe we can try these two questions first to answer. Okay. The first question is from Muhammad Rizki from UNES. He asked a question for, I think it is Professor Abdul Halim, because it is connected with the technology. Okay, please, the question is, young generation use technology, and how about educators? How they can teach children?
Okay, thank you for the question from Muhammad Rizki. Okay, what I'm saying that teachers should aware of the 21st century's media. So that means you have to teach all the traditional method. You still use all the traditional method for the understanding of art or understanding of craft or understanding of culture, but since we are in the 21st century and all the students in schools, and we are also, you know, with the in the environment of the new media. For example, we have smartphones, we have all the new technology, new applications in the environment. So we have to introduce to the students in schools how they look at the environment and use all the new media in order to create the artworks and teach them how to be creative when look at all the application instruments in our environment. Is the same as what we look at the traditional approach of teaching art. When we look at the woods and how we create woods to become a carving, and all the environment, the traditional environments that we manipulate all the materials that it becomes the artworks. We use pencils, we use woods, we use everything that have around us, and we create it as an artwork. But that is the traditional way of looking materials and producing the artworks, and a traditional on how to produce artwork. That is the traditional way of looking material in school, for example. But we cannot leave all the new material that have now, because students now, they have all the environment, they live in the environment that they're sensitive with the application, for example, smartphones, and also the technology, the apps, the internet. So can we teachers include all that materials in our teaching pedagogicals in how to be creative when looking at the new media? So when you ask the questions whether we have to leave all the traditional approach, no. The traditional approach is to understanding the artwork through the traditional material, but we have to introduce the new way of looking at the new materials, new media, ICT, computers, and internet-based to produce artworks that different approach when we use the traditional material. So this is the new skill that teachers should aware of it, and to have the experience of how to use new media to produce artwork, and it will be different work from the traditional work. So this is the new way of looking at and understanding of art when modern and postmodern, and what we call it the traditional way of looking art, the modern way of looking art, and the postmodern of understanding art. So there must be a different way, and there must be a new paradigm of looking art and teaching art. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. And then the second question is for you. Yeah.
So I'm not sure with what I catch up, about the green services, something like this, right? So in my opinion, when we said about the green services, actually it's usually go together with the green products actually, because when we, for example, for example, the service of hotel. When we check in into the hotel, so this the service from the hotel, we will touching up, starting from the employees, that the receptionist, right? And we will feel it automatically whether they when they service us with some kinds of what's that related to the environment concept, or just when we go to the rooms and we found some card that show that please help to save the earth or something like this. So this just to say that the green services will be blended into the human's activities actually, and then it's automatic also we have as the environmental friendly. So that's mean that the meaning of the green services. Yeah.
Okay, that's all. Should we try another question from another university? Okay, this is the question from postgraduate director of Yogyakarta University atau Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta. Please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ibu, is it possible if I have three questions from each other? Possible.
Okay.
For the first, for the Kasar Thailand, about the green technology. When we use the term of green technology, of course we don't left the transfer of technology term. So in your university, how to make sure that the students have done the activities in the domain of green technology, and how to measure it. In my mind, this is a kind of habituation. It is not just found the new technology and deliver of something just like teaching and learning in the class. From the NTUT of Thailand, somehow that you have good result to use technology, especially in ultrasound domain. It is pity if we don't implement in the real condition or society, in our society. How to introduce of all of the student innovative product, I mean, from the student to the industry in Taiwan. Are there any model of cooperation between academia and industry, and how does it run? To the UPSI Malaysia, Bapak Profesor Nur Fadilah Muhammad, Abdul Halim bin Hussein. in line with the new technology, Professor, using new media in teaching and learning work, art. How to measure achievement of the student in case of using IT in paint object? Because we usually use hands-free sketch with the student hands, and we call it skill. But no, we can use software like Corel, something like that. And in line with that, how to measure the student achievement in case of using IT to paint object? Thank you.
Thank you for the question, and then I give the chance first to Kasusat maybe, for you, Mrs.
So I catch up that you are asking for the how the students stand green technologies, right? How do we know that the student have a green technologies, right?
Usually
Okay.
it needs habituation.
My questions, right? Okay. So one things that we have done in my classes, actually, we will have the students to have a workshop together and try to reflect their ideas about green technologies, as well as we try to ask them to think about the media that will help us to transfer the knowledge of the green technologies or green industry to other peoples, not only our students in the class, but we try to transform our ideas to the community as well. So the student will have a practice in the real practice as I show you in the my presentations. We bring them out to see the real practice of the green industry, and then after that they will come back and have the reflections note whether they got what the idea they got from the green activities, as well as another one that's my class. It's related to the creative medias. Which one is my creative media is regarding related to the environment and community development as well. So in this classes, the student will have assigned to create the media that help transfer the knowledge as well to our community in terms of the environment education. So once the students have done it, we have exhibitions to show their concepts of the green technologies and as well as green environmental. Yeah. Thank you.
The next question is for Mr. Che Huayang about how to use innovative products of students to the industry.
Okay, I think this is a very good question, and in fact, this is the direction we are working on, meaning that once you develop technology, how can you educate the student, and how can you educate the student to be interacting with the industry, which is the final goal of our education. So we have 3 different ways to do that. First is that all the students in Taipei Tech are required to have an internship in the industry for at least 320 hours and before they graduate. Okay, so students get a chance to be in the industry to practice their knowledge. That's the first one. The second thing is that in our lab education, we continue to get industrial projects, meaning that those technologies that industries need, they will pay the money to the university. So the student will join this kind of engineering project to learn what they have to learn. So that's second way. The third way is that we are recruiting a lot of industrial students to the university as part-time. They come to the university for part-time degrees, either in master degree or PhD degree. So those students come from students to learn the technology from the university. So they will carry on those technology back to the industry. So with these three different ways, Taipei Tech is very strongly tied with the industry. And once the student graduate, they can begin a business, they can become a very important member of the industry. So that's how we can have 100 years of success in the industry. Thank you.
The last is for Mr. Abdul Halim. How to measure the student achievements, yeah, from usually manual to technology.
Okay, thank you to the rector of UNES Jogja, right? Okay, the first question is the new paradigm of understanding arts in 21st century is art is about ideas. Those days, when we talk about arts, we are talking about skill. So when a person can, make materials or do something with the materials and come up with a very beautiful thing, and we call it art. But now, in a new paradigm of looking at art and understanding of art, what is the ideas that you have? And then you can implement your ideas through any materials as well as new media. So because of the environment that we have now, is exposed to the new media. So all the skill on that new media, we can use it as the new way of doing or producing art. Okay, so maybe that is the answer of the first question, because when I said that art is as in an idea, so it depends to the media that we are around with us now. So our young generations, their environment is a lot of new media and application is in their home and in their school and everywhere. So the second question is about paradigm in arts in 21st century, because when we said that the traditional way of doing art, when we can draw, we can sketch, then we can say that you can be an artist or you can do the artworks, because your idea has been transferred to on paper and you can draw and visualize it. But now with the camera and every person now, they have all these gadgets, and especially the smartphones. So photography is some sort like sketches for them now. So when we go to any place and we look at something that can come out as an idea, so we take photos, then all the vocabularies, all the photos is the vocabulary of ideas of doing art through this new media. So this is the changes of looking at the skills, the traditional skills, and also these new skills in the 21st century. I think that's the answer. I hope that you answered your question. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, maybe the audience is thinking about ending this session, but there is one other information that we will connect again to the Satya Wacana Christian University. Jadi Universitas Kristen Satya Wacana. Hello. One question from UKSB and then our session will be ended. I have no trouble again.
Mr. Chen Fayang. To introduce myself, my name is Dian. I'm from Faculty Science and Mathematics, Department of Physics and Physics Education. Okay, based on your statement before, or based your explanation before about laser, ultrasound technique, and the industrial application, how to read the output from an ultrasound laser, directly information of wave number or spectrum or something else. And then it first event to surrounding communities how laser ultrasound used in the medical field. That's all. Thank you.
The question is for Mr. Che Wan. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the question. I think your question is how laser ultrasound technique can be applied in medical applications. Is that right? Okay. Actually, this is a very new area in medical application. It's called the photoacoustic tomography. And this is a very new area that people can use this technique to explore the formation of a cancer, the formation of a blood vessel change during the formation of a cancer. So now it becomes a very fundamental research issue in the cancer research. So a lot of important labs, such as one in University of Washington, and in Texas A&M, this kind of technology has been implemented in biological tissues, in cancer diagnostics. Thank you.
Okay, let's give an applause to all the speakers. I will make a little conclusion. And thank you for the audience from UKSW, UNJ, UNM, UGRIS, and also from Unimus. Okay, now I will make a conclusion that Ms. Sufarok from Kesutsat said that green technology education is very important for people now, yeah? Not only at school, also for community. And she also gave an example of one industry, Bancak, and one learning center about how students learn about green sustainability. Okay. And from Mrs. Nor Fadila from UTM, she is talk about the experience in research about practicing, teaching practice, yeah, in international from UTM, and she found that the student have a challenge and also has a challenge, especially in language, and also have a readiness to do the teaching practice internationally. Okay, from Professor Dr. Che Hua Yang, first talking about the high technology, and we are very sorry because we talk about technology, but today we have found many problems in technology. We apologize for that. Okay, and all the question about university, Taipei, Taiwan University, we are glad to hear that it is a very old university and giving producing a CEO for many industries, okay? And the next is from Professor Abdul Halim bin Hussein. He talks about new media, yeah, for art and art education. It's very interesting and very inspiring, all of your presentation. And please give an applause for all the speakers. Okay, thank you very much for your attention, and see you in another occasion. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all invited speakers, and also moderator, you may remain on your seat. And we would like also to invite the director of PPS UNES, the director of PPS Universitas Gorontalo, and also the director of PPS UNY to take a photo sessions with all the invited speakers and moderators. Please, sir. Thank you very much for all invited speakers and also moderator Ibu Dr. Rodia Syambil. Participants, ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to the next agenda, which is lunch break and also our parallel sessions, I would like to announce the selected papers to be published in our accredited journal publications. The first paper is from Eva Nugroho et al. From Department of Public Health Science, Universitas Negeri Semarang. The second paper is from S. Raharjo from University of Muhammadiyah Semarang. The third paper is from Siti Aminah and Wulandari Meikawati from Department of Food and Technology, Universitas Muhammadiyah Semarang. The fourth paper is Wandi Wantoro et al. From Physics Department of Universitas Kristen Satyawacana Salatiga. The fifth paper is from Putra Imam Saro Sandroto et al. From Department of Physics Satyawacana Christian University. And the last paper is from Siti Raihan et al. From Universitas Negeri Semarang. These 6 papers will be all included in the next publications of our accredited journal publications, Kesmas, and also Journal IPA Indonesia. Give applause for the writers of our papers. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the end of the sessions. After this, you will have our lunch break and also the parallel sessions. But before that, I would like to announce some information for you. Untuk seluruh presenter, daftar ruang sudah kami tempelkan di papan di bagian belakang auditorium atau di bagian belakang venue. Daftar ruang untuk presenter sesi paralel akan dibagi menjadi 6. Ruang 1 sampai 4 akan berada di dalam venue atau di dalam gedung auditorium. Sementara untuk ruang 5 dan 6 akan ada di sayap kiri venue atau sebelah kiri panggung. Partisipan dipersilakan untuk memilih sendiri ruangan presentasi, dan untuk presenter yang tidak mempresentasikan paper tidak dapat mendapatkan sertifikat. Kepada seluruh presenter dan partisipan juga kami mohon untuk tidak meninggalkan acara sampai acara selesai, karena sertifikat akan dibagikan setelah seluruh rangkaian acara selesai. Materi dari keynote speaker sudah bisa di-download di web Pasca Sarjana UNES di pps.unes.ac.id. So thank you very much for your attention. We would like to have you in 1 hour for our parallel sessions, and also don't forget to look at the schedule. We have attached all the schedules on the board that we have behind this venue. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again in 1 hour. Thank you. Kepada Bapak Ibu untuk acara opening ceremony dan untuk acara plenary speakers sudah selesai, dapat mengambil makan siang di bagian belakang venue dan juga dapat melihat pengumuman pembagian ruang kelas paralel di papan yang sudah kami persiapkan di bagian belakang venue. Kepada seluruh panitia iset mohon dapat berkumpul di panggung karena akan ada sesi foto bersama dengan pembicara tamu. Kami beritahukan lagi kepada seluruh panitia iset 2017 agar dapat berkumpul di panggung iset untuk dapat mengikuti sesi foto bersama panitia bersama dengan seluruh pembicara iset 2017. Kepada peserta dapat melihat jadwal yang sudah kami tempelkan di papan di bagian belakang venue. Ruang 1 dan sampai 4 akan berada di dalam auditorium. Kami akan membagi auditorium menjadi 4 kelas, sedangkan untuk kelas 5 dan 6, ruang 5 sampai 6 akan berada di sayap kiri auditorium. Kami informasikan juga kepada seluruh peserta bahwa musola atau masjid ada di sebelah kanan auditorium, dan untuk kamar mandi ada di bagian kanan dan kiri ruang auditorium.